guys were 3-7, 6 weeks left in the season, and all of a sudden this defense made some significant strides. Specifically, what changed, and what's your confidence level that that'll carry over into 2020?
When we was 3-7, I think everybody just from the point on of just maturity, everybody growing up, not saying that we shouldn't have already been on a more mature level, but we had a lot of guys that were 21 and 22 on the field, still trying to figure things out. But Coach Todd preached us about we could control the defense and control the outcome of games, and we still at one point we were still alive for the playoff run, and we was winning, we had won 3 games in a row and such and such. So we was feeding off that momentum, and it started to show us how great we could be as a defense. So that kind of carried on into the end of the season. We started going out there with more confidence, knowing that, hey, we dominating, got people, it's showing on the stat sheet, it's showing on the scoreboard, this really our identity. And I think more towards the end of the season, our identity as a defense became made. We established, finished the season strong, and that going into the offseason, that allowed the coaching staff to know, these are the guys we want back. We want this guy back. We got to make sure we get Shaq back, JPP Sue, because, different guys played a big role in our defense. And, just going into the 2020 season, we've been doing a lot of virtual meetings. We're in group text, and it's just like everybody, we got that chemistry already locked in, and, we're running the same plays that we basically mastered at the end of the year. Now we can build what we did last year, and we can keep striving to be better, because far as the front seven, we know that we was the #1 rush defense in the NFL last year, but that wasn't good enough. We feel like, we needed more takeaways from the front seven. So it's just all the little things, you see what you did great, and you want to improve on your weakness.
Awesome. Next up, we got Ed and Cena.
Hey, Devin. How you doing? Hey, Devin, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Hey, I remember talking to you after the Atlanta game, the last game of the season, and you kind of talked about how you were already turning that page of not being a rookie anymore, of being a second-year guy. And I think you said, the guys on the defense next year, whoever's here, you're going to have to rise with me because I'm going to keep rising. How have you done that in the offseason? What have you done kind of to kind of keep going where you stopped off last year?
Yeah, that was my biggest thing is, I wanted to always be treated like a vet last year, because I always felt like I prepared like a vet. I did some stuff that vets weren't even doing. I put in the time, and I know it started paying off, when I came back from my injury. But just as far as this offseason, I just kind of became closer with my inside linebacker coach on becoming more a student of the game, so I can be able to control stuff to a high magnitude when I'm on the field. And, guys can lean on me in certain situations, and they know that, hey, I can go to Devin for the answer, or Devin will have us in the right call if the play break down and the headset not working, or if anything going on, I can be the one to fix it. And I know guys that usually tend to play the best ball usually be the smarter guys on the field. So I'm trying to make sure I establish myself as one of the smartest guys on the field when I'm playing ball.
Okay, next up we have Greg Auman.
Hey, Devin, how you doing?
Hey.
Devin, sorry, Devin, just want to ask you, before Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski came on this spring, there was some talk that the defense could be the better half of this team, with you guys having everything back, kind of building on the way you finished last year. Do you still think this can be the better half of the team on defense? Can you keep up with that offense?
Yeah, that was a great question. I still feel that way. Before we signed Tom or Grunk, any of those guys, me and Coach Boyles, we always said, in the offseason, as we've been talking and preparing, that, we was going to be the ones to carry the team. The team is going to go as far as we go. Last year, when things happen, we need to go make some else happen, or, just vice versa. Whatever we do, we got to always want to put the game on our backs. We want it to come down hey, the offense goes score, we got to stop the other team. We want the game to be on us at the end of the game because we know we're going to come through. We know we just know that much about ourselves. We believe that much in ourselves as far as a defensive unit. And I mean, everybody's seen what we did last year, and that was our first year together with with a new coaching staff and everything, new players, young players, a couple of vets. And now we want to build off that, and we want to just keep striving. Like, we're not just going, hey, we was the number one rush defense. No, that's out the way. We got to go prove that even times 10 next year because people are going to know, like, they got a good front. So now we got to still hold up because they're going to try to hit us with different things. But I think that's where we come in as, players, and we want to be better. We want to get better. I know everybody working their tails out tremendously, even with this, this coronavirus that we're going through, just to make sure when we come back, we need to be in the best shape, and we need to already know ball. We need to have all our installs already down, and so we can just come back and we can hit it.
All right, next up we have Jenna Lane.
Hi, Devin. Thank you so much for doing this. We talked to your strength.
Hey, Jenna.
Hi. We talked to your strength and conditioning coach, Coach Paroli, about your virtual off-season program, and he talked about how some guys had a lot of equipment, some guys didn't have anything at all. What kind of equipment did you have access to? What did they send you? What's that been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was before all this coming out, I was working out with a personal trainer. I was driving like 45 minutes every morning to go work out. But once we knew we was gonna have to do the virtual workout, they sent me like dumbbells and sleds and a lot of bands to do a lot of band work and stuff like that. But I also had like a few other things. So I mean, what you don't have and what you do have, AP, he goes in and he kind of modify you on what he wants you to, or he wants your workout to be. So say for instance, like at first I didn't have a dumbbell bench, like a dumbbell. I mean, I didn't have a barbell bench. So he made all my workouts for upper body with dumbbells because he knew I had dumbbells. So just knowing that he can go in and modify stuff just to make sure I'm still getting a solid amount of work in, just for me to be at tip top, at my best when I'm able to come back and start working out with those guys. But I mean, it just depends on who the person was. Like I get on Instagram and FaceTime and I see like Sean turn his whole garage into a workout center. So he got everything. But like I'm in the country and I was kind of limited to sources because especially when I knew like we gonna have to do our own stuff and you try to go out and buy stuff, a lot of stuff already bought up or just stores don't have it in stock. So, but I can't say, I go back in great shape because I'm doing the things that he's telling me to do and it's paying off.
All right, next up we have Justin Granite. All right, so we're going to go ahead and switch over. We're actually going to have Luke Easterling next. Oh,
Yeah.
You're good, Justin. Go ahead.
Hey, sorry about that, Devin. With going up against Brady at practice every day, how is that going to make this defense better going up arguably the greatest of all time?
I just look at it in the sense of how we played Drew Brees. Going against the game with Drew Brees, obviously I didn't play the first game, but the second game when I was able to play, I was able to see how much that he mastered the game of football. Like, one thing I can say is it was hard to get a sack on him. We didn't have any sacks on Drew Brees when they came to Tampa. Like, when the backup guy came in, Taysom Hill, that's when we got a sack. Mike Evans got a sack off him, but he reads our defenses and he know where his guy is going to be. He know where the ball is going to go, and he just do it like just so fast. And I think that's the thing that Tom is going to bring to practice. So us as a defense is going to teach us more how to disguise, because we're not going to want him to pick us apart every day in training camp. So we're going to get better with our disguises. We're going to try to confuse him a little. So I think having him in practice going against him make us really bring our game out to a new level. Whereas if I know I'm finna play the run and I know I got the A gap, I'm not just gonna sit in the A gap and tell him. I might move around a little more, do some kind of show something different. Or if I'm in cover two, we're not just gonna just line up and just give it to him because we know he's gonna pick us apart. So I think as far as a pre-snap read, it'll make us be better in our pre-snap reads against the offense. So that's what I'm really excited about, because we did it last year. We was moving a lot, but it was more of still people trying to understand the defense more than trying to, understand and disguise. So now this year that we more understand the defense more and we going against him, that'll make us disguise even more.
Okay, next up is Luke Easterling.
Devin, you guys have 5 primetime games this year. You're going to have another couple of games, marquee matchups against, teams like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs coming off the Super Bowl win. You're going to face Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. What does it mean to you and this defense to know you're going to get an opportunity to get the national spotlight so many times this season and show off what you guys have been working to build over the last year?
Nah, I say it mean a lot, but at the end of the day, we got to go out there and we got to compete, and we got to go out there week in and week out, and we got to put the same thing on tape, and that's great things. We can't have bad games, because at the end of the day, football is all we do, from sun up to sundown. So this year, I say we just got to be on it more. We got to go out there with complete just dominance, just knowing that we're going to dominate every team, and we're going to win the ball games for our club, and I say that's the thing. For us being on prime time, it didn't matter to me. As long as we were strapping up on Sunday, it didn't matter if we played at 11, 12, 1. We just got to be ready when, when our name called to go out there on the field. We just all got to have that mindset, hey, we got to have our best game. Hey, we got to have our best game and make it be a weekly thing. And I feel like, we don't need to rise up to the competition. I think we need to go put on the same show week in and week out. And I think that's going to be the biggest mindset, because my coach already instilled that, they was supposed to have one of the greatest teams when he played with the Eagles. And they was a team that didn't win many games, so he kind of instilling us now that we getting all the talking stuff, but we still got to go out and perform. So as long as we already had that mindset coming in from day one and not let all the hype and stuff that's surrounding us overtake what we need to go out there and do in the field, I think we'll be just fine.
All right, next up we have Mark Cook.
Hey, Devin, last year when we met you for the first time after the draft, we sat in the media room with you and we talked, and you had a very supreme confidence about your game, about what you wanted to accomplish last year. Was there ever any point early in the year where maybe things were overwhelming? And if there was, when did that light come on for you to where, you said, I can handle this. I can be not just a good NFL linebacker, but a great NFL linebacker?
Yeah. Man, one thing about me, I got all the confidence in the world in my abilities. I always know when I walk in the room, it don't matter what type of people. I can be at the Kentucky Derby. I can be in a room full of millionaires, billionaires. I can be in a room with Christians, this type of person, and I know I belong because I'm a great guy, and I know whatever I'm trying to achieve, I'm going to work super hard at it. I'm going to dedicate myself to it. So when I know it's time to perform or time to be around that group of people, I know I belong. So the minute I stepped in the locker room and we got ready for rookie mini camp, and then it went to OTA, I already was comfortable. I felt good, and the thing was is just taking the next step. And from training camp, the next step was preseason, and then we get into preseason, and I wasn't playing as much, and I was kind of frustrated because I was having fun, being able to go out and finally hit and just do things in a real life NFL, matter. So I always had the confidence in myself, and the thing is, I just can't never get complacent. And that's one thing about me. I study the game. I reach out to a lot of people. I'm always trying to find ways to get better because I know, as far as my game, there's no ceiling. I can keep getting better and better because somebody gonna find my weakness, and I'm gonna have to get better. So I might as well find my own weakness and try to extort my own weakness for somebody else do it on Sunday. So I'm always looking to get better. So that's why I feel like
All right, next up is Steve Isbitz.
Devin, do you think it's an advantage to play Drew Brees in week 1 because you'll have extra time to study their offense? And when you're working in the barn, what's the toughest workout in the barn?
Yeah, as far as playing them in week 1, I feel like that, we get to go and test ourselves, and it's a division game. So I know the intensity level will be at an all-time high. And, just as far as having time to study, I think it's more about us on defense than it is them on offense. Not taking anything away from their players because they got great players, but I feel like we got great scheme, and I feel like we just got to execute our scheme. That's just like last year. We went into the game with a great scheme, but us as players, we didn't execute it. Like, we probably, hey, oh, I thought I was supposed to do this, and then we got beat. And there's always that is little room for error in the NFL. That's what I came to realize over my rookie season. Like in college, your athletic ability can make up for a small error, but in the NFL, everybody's just as talented as you, so you can't make up for it. So you just got to be 100% locked in on your keys and make sure you're doing everything right. And as far as the workout in the barn, I'll say the hardest thing is when you stacking them 50, 60-pound bales of square bales of hay, especially then you stacking them all the way up to the barn and just trying to in the top of the barn and trying to make sure that you got them stacked right so they don't fall down. And then I'll say that's the hardest part. But I've been doing it since a kid, so that's probably why my guns look like this.
All right, next up we got Leo Haggerty.
Devin, thanks for doing this. You're going to go from playing probably in the loudest stadium at Death Valley on a Saturday night in Baton Rouge, and there's a good possibility you're going to go to New Orleans and play the Saints and then host at home to basically an empty church. How hard is that going to be to get motivated to play with absolutely no fans in the facilities?
I say the thing about me, like, don't take me wrong, I love the fans. I love the fans get us going, but at the end of the day, I'm a football player. I love playing football, so I don't need all the hullabaloos to make me go out and make a play. I thrive off my own motivation, my own mindset, just want to be dominant, just want to have fun, like, because football is fun. So I think I thrive off myself, so I don't think that'll be a problem. But I do say when you got a crowd that got great energy, that do make you play better, but it can't be the only thing that make you play better. You just got to go out there and you got to have that mindset that you want to dominate the person in front of you.
Okay, next up is Kevin Lewis.
Thanks for doing this, Devin. A follow-up to the barn question. You saw your background picture earlier, and some people, athletes, non-athletes are kind of during these times looking for a mental break. What is it about when you ride, horses or work with them? Just what is it about that mentally that is refreshing or that does it for you?
Yeah, I say everything about it is just refreshing. Like, because you got to take care of them just like you'll take care of any animal. So that kind of take a little time out the day. But, just when I'm riding, it's just like give me a peace of mind, because you're not going to keep pulling your phone out when you're trying to hold both hands on the rings, with your ring. So it just kind of take me away from everything in the world. And that's why I got to at least get at least 2 hours in a day. Sometimes I don't ride, but when I do ride, I try to at least get 2.5 hours. It depends on how many horses I ride. But I mean, that's the thing with it. Like, it just kind of get me away from the world. And so I don't get distracted, and that just let me really find myself and just, think about how blessed I am, how grateful I am, how thankful I am, to be in a position to be able to play at the highest level of football, be able to own such, unique animals, and just, to be able to just be in this world still, because a lot of people, they don't see 22 years of age, or, a lot of people don't make it. So it just gives me really a sense of just to be thankful and just to show my appreciation to the man above for all the blessings.
All right, we got time for a couple more. We're going to go with Andrew Cassie. All right, looks like we're having microphone trouble. Is going to go ahead and jump to Karen Loftus.
Hey, Devin. Thanks for doing this. Wanted to ask you about DBU taking over the Bucs. Now you guys got 4 people with Michael Divinity added to the mix. Are you looking forward to taking him under your wing and developing him as a fellow linebacker there with the Bucs?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to preach to him the mindset is, like, you control what goes on in your life and what happens in your career. So I just want to be that helping hand as far as like playbook wise, but everything like for as field wise, I just want him to be him. I want him to be comfortable. And that's just like what the older guys did with me. It was like, man, you got to find your own way. But also, whenever you need help, I just want you to know that I'm here, whether you need it or not. And that's kind of the motto that I want to give him. Like, I want him to know that if he ever need me or get stuck, that I'm here. I'm gonna throw him a rope and not a shovel. But as far as like figuring it out, he got to go on his own path, and he got to make things work, and he got to adjust to the way that he want to adjust. So that's as far as I say about that. But I am happy to have somebody else on the team that I can relate to, because a lot of people in the NFL, once they leave the facility, they got different things to do. So me and him already got like a common bond. Like, we played 3 years in college together, so we already got a lot, and we already know each other. Like, for us, outside family, his mom, his dad, my mom, my dad, and stuff. Like, we already know each other, families and stuff.
All right, now we're gonna go to Andrew Cassey.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Just want to make sure. Devin, you kind of alluded to this earlier. You think your defense can be even better than what it was last year. You made the big offseason splashes with Brady and Gronk. You got all the primetime games. Do you feel like is it being talked about that you guys feel like you have a target on your back? I know that sounds weird about a team that missed the playoffs last year, but are you guys telling yourself we might have a target on our back?
No, I don't think that we're looking at it like that, but we know every time we step on the field, like, we're gonna have to bring it in. And I think we knew that last year, but as far as the defense, it's more of a just holding up our end of the bargain. And when I say holding up our end of the bargain, that's limiting teams to field goals and not letting teams score, or if the offense turn the ball over, make sure we go get it right back. Don't without a score, because turnovers win games, and we kind of know that going into the game. And things are happening, or we want to make the other team turn the ball over more than we turn it over, just to make the ratio be in our favor. Because when it's in our favor, 9 times out of 10, we're likely to win the game. So just things that we always preach on. But as far as having a target on our back, I know some people are gonna want to, since Brady is in a new conference, that they're gonna want to play harder when they play him, because I don't know, just because who he is. But at the end of the day, we don't have to fall into that trap. We just got to go out and do what we do and execute.
All right, we got one more from Ed and Cena.
Hey, Devin, you guys, the rookie class last year formed a really close bond, through rookie minicamp and all the things that you guys did, over that course through OTAs and before the season started. How important was that for you guys as a group? And, with some of the rookies now, maybe not being able to do those kind of things, necessarily in the same way. Yeah. How much maybe could that hurt them?
I'm not gonna say it's gonna hurt them, because at the end of the day, we did all those things together, but we had a choice of did we want to still keep it to once we left the with Duke and Justin at Bunny, and then they'll have to tell each other whether, hey, I want to hang with this person, I want to get close to this person, I want to lean on this person, I want to become friends with this person on a team. And I think that was the main thing. But just like, for us, I'm like, hey, bro, I got to make sure you're on your stuff, and you got to make sure I'm on my stuff, because we need each other when we out there on the field. So I think that's what took us to a new level, because we depended on each. And we told I preached to them the whole season was we was going to be the class that was going to change the organization back to where it was, and winning and having that swagger like they did in 2002, and really close. And they got to have that alpha dog in the class to be able to maintain that closeness and make sure everybody doing what they're supposed to do.
All right, we got last one here from Jenna Lane.
Hey, Devin, what's it been like for you, or what's been the hardest part of doing this offseason virtually for you instead of doing it in person with your teammates?
The hardest part has been, I say the hardest part about the virtual thing is when I'm working out now, finding somebody to record the workouts to send in, because I can easily go do my workout, and I'm knowing I'm not going to cheat myself, is just get it in and go about my business. But I be having to find somebody to come record it, or I got to kind of prop my phone up somewhere and kind of make sure it's getting the sets that they want us to send in. And then I say another thing is we installing new plays, but I'm a guy where I can install a new play and I can remember it, but I take the play to a whole new level when I install it and I go out on the field and walk through it, and then we go on the field and we practice at full speed. So I say that's that's really mainly the hardest thing, is not being able to get that on field time after we install in the play.
Awesome. That's all we have for you today, Devin. Appreciate the time.
All right. Thank you. God bless.